Welcome to the Armani Talks YouTube channel. I'm your host, Armani Talks. In this channel, I'm covering communication skills for you to level up your way with words and become much more articulate. If this is your first time on the channel, welcome aboard. Every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I'm dropping brand new videos on topics such as public speaking, social skills, emotional intelligence, and much more. Join the tribe by hitting that subscribe button right on below. Hit that bell notification and never miss another video again. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. And be sure to drop that like on your way in as we enter the world of social skills. And in today's episode, we're going to be breaking down a short story from my book, Limit Breaker, 101 Short Stories, Essays, and Insights to Improve Your Communication Skills, which is currently available on Amazon. I'll drop the link for the book in the description box and in the pinned comment right on below. The short story that we're going to be breaking down is called How to Handle a Hater. Roughly around the beginning of 2019, I was about to move to a new location. But before I was going to move, I was going to be spending a few more weeks in my current location. I loved that current location, but the issue was every now and then the internet would be spotty. Sometimes it's working great, and other times it's not working at all. On this particular day, it wasn't working at all. I tried to fix it, but there was no luck. So eventually I called my internet company and they said that they'll send someone over in roughly 30 minutes or so. So eventually 30 minutes passes on by and I hear a knock on my door. When I open the door, there's this big dude that's standing right outside. He doesn't look like a bodybuilder. He looks like he ate the bodybuilder. Big guy. I start to explain the situation to him, and once he has enough information, he says, all right, give me a quick little second. He steps out in my front yard, is toggling with some wires, comes back, and he says, I see the issue. There was a squirrel that was biting on the wire. I'll go ahead and fix it up for you, and it'll be free. Free, you say? Okay, since it's free, sir, may I interest you in some water? And he says, yeah, of course, I would love some water. So he fixes up the wire in the front yard. I grab him some water and he has me fill out some paperwork. We're speaking for a few. And that's when, as I'm speaking to him, I could tell that he hates the current job that he's working. He's like, I have no passion for this stuff. I mean, I sort of have to do it. And as I'm looking at this guy, I'm starting to assume certain things. I'm starting to think, I know what he really loves to do. His true love is bodybuilding. So I bring it up to him. I was like, let me guess, you don't want to be doing this. You really want to be doing bodybuilding, right? And then he looks at me and he says, no. I'm not into bodybuilding at all. What I'm really into is rapping. I love rap music. So I was asking him if he could spit some bars for me. And he's like, I'll do you one better. He pulls out his phone and he pulls up Spotify and he starts playing a song. The song is awesome. I'm hearing it. I'm vibing with it. I'm like, oh, who created this? And he has this proud looking smile on his face and he's like, me, I created this. At first I didn't believe him, but that's when he posts another song and plays it again. And once again, I hear the song and I'm like, this is amazing. And when I said that it was amazing, his happy face suddenly turned sad. And he was like, nah, man, you're just saying that. You don't really think it's amazing. And I said, no, I actually think it's great. And once again, he says, nah, man, you're just saying that. And that's when I noticed that this guy, even though he was highly skilled, I didn't have much confidence in his abilities. I was like, dude, I don't know why you're telling me I don't like it. I'm telling you, I like it. Why are you telling me I don't like it? He completely ignores my question. And then he says, okay, look at this. This time, he pulls up YouTube and he's in the Tampa Bay region filming a music video. You could tell by his enthusiasm that this is what he loves to do. And as I'm seeing his work, eventually I ask him, what's the status with your music career right now? And he goes back to looking sad. He was like, there is no music career. I asked why. And he said, well, here's what happened. I was doing well. I was creating music. I was making music videos. I was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But eventually, a lot of people started to leave mean comments on my videos, on my posts. And I didn't like that. I was waiting for him to continue the story, but that's when he was wrapping up. So that's when I had a bunch of questions. But the most important question was, who were these people that were hating on you? He looked back at me and he said, I don't know. What do they look like? I don't know. So wait a minute. You don't know these people. You don't know what they look like, but you let them get under your skin that much that it completely swayed your music career forever, and now you're doing something that you hate? He nods his head. And as we were talking about this, that's when he realized that he let the hate get under his skin so much that it was foolish. He didn't even know what these people looked like. Maybe these people actually did like the music, but they were like, we're bored. Let's see if we can get a reaction out of this guy. And they got a reaction out of him. The ultimate premise with how to handle a hater in this short story was, there's different ways to handle a hater. You can hate on them back. This guy could have easily went on this person's page or these group of people's pages and see what they did for a living. And they could have been someone that was more whack. This bodybuilding dude could have hated on them. That's one strategy. Another strategy is to try to convince the hater to become a fan. You start to use intellect with the hater. You're like, okay, well, why do you hate my music? What kind of music do you like? And you try to see their lens. This is another path. And the third path is a path that I recommend in this short story, which is to ignore. Because here's the thing. A creative act like rapping is a creative act. It requires mental faculties to be channeled into a creative outlet. And you want to know something? Path 1 and path 2, you trying to debate with the hater, you trying to use rationale on the hater, that too is a creative path. You need to gather your thoughts, you need to organize it, and you need to channel it into this entity who doesn't even want you to do well. What's the difference between a hater and a critic? At the fundamental level, despite their messages being harsh, a critic wants you to do well, while a hater does not want you to do well. So why use rationale with them? At certain points, I get see an argument being made where you are using logic with them. But for the most part, I am team ignore. You ignore them, you feel the creative energies, and you channel it back into your rap. You ever seen one of those games of a rocket ship? You need to be exactly precisely on point. If you're just a little bit off in terms of your direction, at first glance, you won't notice it. But as you're trying to hit the destination, this tiny little direction being off leads to it adding up more and more and more to a point where you don't even hit the planet that you were supposed to hit. You're all off in another galaxy. So haters, they're trying their best to knock you off your direction. And each time you entertain it a little too much, you become that rocket ship that is not hitting your destination. You're going off by a little, and a little, and eventually the little adds up. So the moral of the story is that when dealing with a hater, there are multiple paths, but I believe the most optimal path of them all is to ignore. If you want more practical short stories like this into social skills, into public speaking, how to improve your concentration skills, and much more, be sure to check out Limit Breaker 101 Short Stories to improve your communication skills. See, there's a lot of short stories for little kids in the market, but not enough for adults that are looking to improve their life and become better with words. So check out Limit Breaker in the description box and the pinned comment, or go straight to Amazon and grab your copy today. Thank you very much for joining the Armani Talks YouTube channel, and I'll catch you next time.